Hey everyone, today we are talking about setting up independent choices for literacy time. So this is when we have our 50 minutes of literacy. This is talking about, so you'd start with 15 minutes of listening to read-alouds I've put on the website, maybe doing a phonics instruction that I've put up. So you'll start with the instruction that I have done, and then you could go to independent time. That's what I would suggest, so that you're not struggling to force them to work. So we're going to talk about how to set up that independent time right now. So in the classroom, we call it independent work rotations. They'll be really familiar with that term, so you're welcome to use that term if you'd like. So it's independent work rotations. And we use 5 basic categories that they can choose from. So the first category is the simplest. It's read to self. That's where they have some books and they sit there and read quietly. For some kids, that's literally just looking at pictures in books, and that's fine. They're telling themselves the story. They're looking at it. There's value in that. For some kids, it's reading chapter books quietly. You need to judge. All the kids at school, at least, were able to do that for 15 to 20 minutes at the very least. So I would expect 10 to 15 minutes maybe at home. And you're going to have to set that expectation probably of, nope, you're going to do that for 10 or 15 minutes if they choose that. The second option that we use is buddy reading. That's where they're reading to a partner and they take turns reading books to each other. At home, that could be them reading with a sibling, or it could be reading with an adult and taking turns reading. It could be reading to a video filming themselves, I guess, reading to me on Seesaw. That way they're still having a chance. It feels like they're reading to someone. It could be reading to a pet or a stuffed animal. There are plenty of options for that buddy reading, and it tends to make it a lot more fun. That one tends to be more popular than the read to self. They're both very valuable. Just be aware, if it's reading with an adult, it isn't time for the adult to be teaching reading. It's really just kind of enjoying. And you can help from time to time with words, but I would be very wary because they will fall into the pattern of, what's this word? What's this word? What's this word? And I would make that time just, you're reading to me. Do your best. I'm here to enjoy the story right now. I'm not here to teach. There's a reason that I actually don't usually do buddy reading with the kids, because they see me as that teacher, and it makes it hard to mix those two roles, especially in their eyes. It helps if there's a consistent role. But if you don't have another option, you're more than welcome to do the buddy reading with them. Just be aware that you might run into that issue, and you might have to set that boundary of, nope, I'm here to enjoy it right now, and then I'll read you a book, and then you'll read me a book. The next one is work on writing. So that's also pretty simple. It could be responding to a prompt, like those spring break writing prompts that we sent home that went home in the packet. Or it can be simply writing a story. Some of them use their notebooks. They write a story in it, and there you go. It's just all on one page. Most of them actually really love to use those blank books. I sent home 3 or 4 in everybody's packets. Unfortunately, that's not going to get us through at this point. So you're more than welcome to either reach out to me, and I'm happy to make some and then mail them or deliver them. Or you can just make them pretty simply at home by taking some paper, fold it in half or cut it in half. They might be bigger than the ones we made. I use construction paper for the cover on the outside. It just makes them a lot more fun. But even the simplest they will love having a book of papers that are stapled together. And so that is time where they're just off there writing on their own. And I wouldn't push adding a lot of words. I would let them write independently for a while, and then when they're done, at the end of the literacy time, you could give feedback then of, oh, I think you could add some more words to the story. Ooh, I think you might be able to spell this word correctly. Oh, I think you could add more details to your story. I think you could, oh, you don't have any words. I think you could label. It just depends on where your kid's at in their writing. And I'm happy to give individualized feedback on where you should be pushing with your kid if you reach out. But just everyone's at a different place. But I would let them write, and then I would give the feedback for the next time. If they choose not to do anything, then you'd say, well, you need to be working. You're welcome to push a little bit harder at that point. But I would hold off on pushing while they're doing the writing. Let them be independent, and it will take some time for them to develop that at home. Because because they had it at school and were able to do these things independently at school doesn't mean that's going to immediately transfer. But making it feel as similar as possible might help. That's my goal with helping you set up this independent time in the same vein as the way we did it at school. Our fourth category of choices was word work. And so that's with our high frequency words and spelling games. So the high frequency word stuff, I'll do another video later today about what the high frequency words, how to implement those games that I've been posting those high frequency words for every day. But so that is an option. Even just making the hands, doing any of the high frequency word stuff, that would be word work, what we call word work. Some other options are games like Scrabble or Bananagrams. There are a lot of really fun ways to do word work. Anything that is just kind of working with letters, playing with letters. You could. We would make funny sentences out of the high frequency words they have. So there's plenty of options, and I'll go through some more of those in detail later on today. Finally, our last set of options is listen to reading, which is the screen time option. That's going to Storyline Online or the Classroom website to watch read-alouds. So whether it's me reading read-alouds on the Classroom website, you could go to that Chris's Daily Read-Aloud tab and just have them listen to a bunch of read-alouds. Or it could be on Storyline Online. They have a bunch of celebrities that just recorded themselves reading different cool books. The kids love that one too. Those are both options. A third option is iStation, which is the intervention curriculum we use and has the test they take. You'll have to download the app onto whatever device they're using, but that's another good option. The school suggestion actually is 30 to 90 minutes a week on iStation on that curriculum, because it will have them play games that are somewhat tuned. They're supposed to be very tuned, but it's marginal, tuned to their level and what they're working on. It is certainly better than a lot of other things that I've seen, and in lieu of having really good direct instruction right now, I think it actually probably is a pretty good opportunity and a pretty good supplementary thing we can be using. So I would suggest that as well for at least some days. Spend 20, 30 minutes on iStation. It doesn't have to be a whole ton of time, but it is a pretty good one. My issue with it comes in the form of the test. I know some of you have heard me talk about that, and then when it is taking away my time with them, I have an issue with it. But if you're trying to find things to do at home, that is absolutely a great option. Sorry. So those are the 5 options. And then in the classroom, I let them choose every day. And they'd go usually for about 30 to 40 minutes. So similar to the time I'm suggesting that you have them go. And the rule was you could switch once. You were allowed to, if you finished something, you could switch one time. If you didn't want to switch, you didn't have to switch. But that way it gave them a little bit more freedom. They weren't forced to do something for 40 minutes, which is a really long time for some of them. For some, they're like, yeah, I'll read for 40 minutes. Great. So it really just depends on the kid. I would suggest probably not letting them jump from activity to activity every 5 minutes. It makes it really hard for them to actually get anything done at that point. And so in the classroom, we actually use a log, and I will link the log there. You're welcome to use it if you'd like. If you don't want to, don't worry about it. But it is a resource for you. And so on the log, it has a color coding system, so that way they could keep track of, Monday I went to listen to reading and just listen to reading. I only went to computers. Tuesday, I only went to computers. They're the same colors. Wednesday, I only went to computers. I'm looking at my log. Maybe I need to choose something else. So the idea being to hopefully get some variety in there so they're not choosing the same thing every single day. So they're getting some of these different skills, because these things work on different skills and they're all important to practice. Now, that being said, if you're having trouble at home getting them to work, do not take that as a pressure that they need to be doing all these different things. As an ideal world, that's in the classroom. If you're able to do it at home, great. If all you're able to do is get them to write or read, then do that. Do your best this is not at all meant to be a requirement. This is hopefully to help you so that they are a little bit more independent. And so that gives you time and gives them a break and gives everybody just some quiet time. That's when you ask me how I do it all day, that's how I do it, is developing that independence piece. And so then I'm able to pull small groups or be able to do one-on-one work with someone. So in your case, it would be able to do your own work or things that you need to get done. So, and building that independence piece will also be important for next year. So even if you don't need that break, it is important for them to be able to build that. So I would really focus on building the independence piece over the academic pieces right now. Kind of like what we do at the beginning of a school year when we set up a classroom we focus on building independence rather than the actual academic skills. And then you can get into the academic skills once you have those pieces set up, once you have the schedule going, once you have that independence piece going. So you're welcome to use the log. I'll link it. If you have any other questions, before I go, another way to set it up if you're not wanting to use the log and kind of free choice, another option would be to sit down together and kind of make a schedule of Monday, you're going to read to self for 20 minutes and you're going to work on writing. Tuesday, you're going to go to word work and read to self. Wednesday, you're going to go to work on writing and do word work. Thursday, you're going to go to listen to reading. It's completely up to you. And, of course, you're welcome to do any of these things in any other order or at any other time of the day, too. That's just how we structure it in the classroom. Please let me know if you have any questions, if you need any help with this, if you're having any problems. I am happy to consult and kind of be a sounding board and go through different ideas. And remember, have fun. The kids really love independent work rotation time at school, so my hope is that by providing all these options, it can be a really fun time at home as well. So please let me know anything else you need or any feedback on this video and this information. So hopefully this was helpful, and good luck getting started with literacy time as we get moving here. Thank you very much. Stay safe, wash your hands, and have a good one. Bye.